Another day, another name linked with the Kaizer Chiefs, and this time it's Jammie Webber. Hello and welcome to Khosi Nation Fan TV. I am Pilo, I am your host. This is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. I'm a Khosi Football Club, and in today's video we're talking about the latest link to Kaizer Chiefs, with Jammie Webber. We're going to talk about who he is, in case you don't know who he is. We're going to talk about why Chiefs are interested in him, the challenges associated with signing Jammie Webber, and I'll also share my own thoughts on this whole situation. Which is it possible, or what do I think about the player in general? Now, starting with who is Jammie Webber. Obviously, some of you might not know this, but Jammie Webber is a midfielder who's currently playing for SuperSport United. He's 25 and he joined them from Stellenbosch back in 2018. So he's been with them since 2018 until now. And we know if a player is coming from Stellenbosch, from the young ranks, they have a very good development system there. So Valley SuperSport identified him earlier on and they were like, we're taking this player, and he's been with them ever since. This season, he has been available for all the 24 games that SuperSport has played, but he's only started 10 times. He came off the bench 4 times, and he has been on the bench 10 times. So in total, he's played 14 games, and some people are already saying, why is Chiefs wanting to sign a player who's not even playing every game for SuperSport United? But then again, there will be someone else who's going to say, oh, wait a minute, but Gavin Hunt sometimes has a different kind of player that he prefers, so it could just be that. But then other people will say, it's the same thing that people said about Matlo. He wasn't even playing with Swallows, and now he's coming to Chiefs, and he's not giving us anything. I know. Nichelening my comments, all those thoughts that are coming to your mind as I'm talking about Jammie Webber. So right now, he's there with SuperSport, and Chiefs apparently they have even made some inquiries as to how much he would cost sign. But why are Chiefs even interested in signing him? So this is apparently because Uzwane has outlined he's the type of player that he wants, which is like, okay, this is one of those times where it's actually coming from Uzwane I want this player, and knowing Uzwane has can actually say, do you see the players that you bought for me? They are not working for me. So now I want my own players, because some people will say that Uzwane knew that we didn't have a defensive midfielder and he didn't sign a defensive midfielder. Uzwane this, Uzwane that. I will just pause and say this. Some of the players, if not most of the players that are at Chiefs right now, were not Zwane's choices. They were just given to him, and then when he came and became the coach of the team, they'd already decided some of the players were going to be signed. They were decided before Zwane even became the coach. So then you cannot say, but Zwane already bought some players and he didn't utilize them. No, he didn't get the players that he wanted. Players were imposed on him and he had to work with them. So now it's the time where Zwane is actually saying, this is the kind of player that I want, and Jammie Webber is one of those players. And also, to continue with this, apparently it's because he just will fit the style and grow with the other players who are already there, the Chiefs, like Abomshini around that age, look at Abongezana and all these other players that Uzwane is trying to bring up to the team. They are going to grow with the team, they are going to reach Ama Primabo at the same time, and the Chiefs will just be deadly, because this project, as we know, it's a rebuilding project. So you cannot be taking Abantaba Note 83 to say we're going to build the team with, but we're looking at bringing people who are experienced enough at the highest level, but at the same time can still give you a lot of what's this thing of time, like they have 5, 6, 7 years that they can still play for the team. So that's one of the reasons. And as I said, he has identified him and has thought his playing style can actually fit with Chiefs. But this is Jammie Webber. This is a player who's currently playing for SuperSport, and there are problems. So here are the few challenges. The first one is that SuperSport apparently want to sell him to a team overseas, which is weird to me. I'm like, which team wants to buy a player who has only started 10 times this season out of 24. He wasn't injured, he wasn't suspended, he was just benched in the other 10 games. I don't get it, right? Because if it was a younger player, I would say they're managing his minutes. That is why sometimes they don't play him. But no, it's like he doesn't just fit Styles Kakavenhant. Yes, it starts with him like 10 out of the 24 times, but still, that's not even half of the games. So to me, it's like, why would you say you are looking to move the player abroad? Because usually players who end up moving abroad are players who are playing each and every game for their team, and then whoever is scouting them from abroad can see, okay, this player is very important, this player is playing good, we've watched them in every game that he's played this season. But with this one, he's not playing that much. So I do feel like once again, it's that thing a SuperSport they've started not to want to sell a player to Chiefs, and they are now saying, oh, there are teams that want him abroad. And in doing that, it might also inflate the price because if there's someone else who wants him, then that means the Chiefs will have to outbid the other team. And we know which usually when there's a team or there's someone who's outbidding the Chiefs end up pulling out of those deals, and that could be a thing. And I think SuperSport also still have a grudge with how we dealt with the situation. I know we did something that is legal, very legal, to sign a player on a pre-contract, but it was clear with Matthews they didn't like the fact that the Chiefs did that. By the way, I forgot to ask, if you're enjoying this video, please do like it. It helps me to reach more people like you. And subscribe if you're new to this channel. In this channel, we speak everything Kaizer Chiefs. We preview, review matches, and we just talk about Kaizer Chiefs news as well. Now, another thing that is a problem, next season, or right now, not even next season, we are competing with eSuperSport, right, for the second spot. And given SuperSport might actually qualify for a Champions League and we might not, that means the SuperSport will be getting more money available by default with the higher position that they will finish on and the money from a Champions League or a ECAF Confederations Cup. Then that means they will have money and they don't necessarily need money to keep them going. So they can just use the money from CAF and say, no, we're keeping all our best players. We are not selling players to a competition, because also we are a competition and we don't have a good relationship with them at this time. So in SuperSport, I don't think they will sell him, because as much as he is not starting every game, I still think he is somewhat an important player to them, because 40% of the times he's played starting the game and only 4 times he's come off the bench. So 14 out of 24 is not looking so great for someone who's outside saying, why do we say we want that player? But if you think about it, if a team is playing a player 14 out of 24 times, then that means he might be kind of important to them. So with me, I still will maintain my position. I think Chiefs, they should just go out and find a proper defensive midfielder who is being used in their team, not who's being sporadically used in the team, because we want someone who we can see a track record. They have played 24 games for their team and they've been consistent in those 24 games, because we don't want them to come to Chiefs and then they're struggling to adapt because they never played 10-15 games in a row. They just play 10 games spread apart. So that's what I think. What do you guys think about Jammie Webber to Kaizer Chiefs? Let me know down on the comment section below. I will see you on the next one. And until next time, remember, equals Alpelo Moy.